Hello. I hope you are doing so well. I hope that you are just thriving because today we are going to be looking at the houseplants that are thriving in my home and the houseplants that are not doing so well. Just a fun little update video. Let me know what's doing well in your home down in the comments. Without further ado, let's do it. So Little Miss Neon Pothos here is doing pretty well in the sunlight. This is one of the plants that was not doing very well in that little plant studio that I had. It wasn't getting much light, but since I've moved it, it is doing much better. The same can be said for this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. This plant was not doing very hot in that studio space that I had, but ever since I've moved it into this room by this south-facing window, it has since taken off. If we actually look at the plant, we can kind of see this was all last season's growth, and then we have some like sparseness right here, and then all of this above is growth from this growing season. It's doing very, very well here, and I actually have some new shoots starting here at the bottom, which is very exciting. We can see like around these nodes here, we're having some new kind of growth spurts. So we're kind of filling out from the bottom, which is really interesting and very exciting. This melanochrysum, I don't know about this thing. She's just not, she hasn't really done very well for me. I don't really know what the problem is. I think we might have a drama queen on our hands. So yeah. Moving right along, this Jaboa Sansevieria, or Dracaena, I guess now, has done very, very well. This is like up to my waist about, and that's all new growth. So that has done very well, adjusted pretty well, and it's kind of far away from the window that's over here. So I'm impressed. My Monstera has just kind of been doing its thing. Nothing really new with this plant. We can see where new growth would be starting, but so I'm trying to get it to focus here. We're a little too close. Anyways, you can see where new growth would be starting here. However, we're not really doing anything right now. Say hello. Yes. She just got a haircut. Yes, you did. This variegated Spaethiphyllum is doing very well also. Definitely is happy here, pushing out lots of flowers or inflorescence. I got the Marble Queen Pothos. Always impressive, always beautiful, stunning, show-stopping, never the same. This has not done anything this season, actually. This Dracaena. Bird's Nest Fern is doing much better since I've moved it down here to the window area. The humidity down here is much better than it was in that plant studio upstairs, and it's getting much more ample light, so it definitely has kind of acclimated. Cute pot. Shout out to my sister for getting me that for my birthday. This variegated String of Hearts is doing very, very well also. We can see that it's pushing out a lot of new growth, similar to that Rhaphidophora that I showed you earlier, around various nodes towards the bottom of the plant. So it's definitely filled out quite a bit. And whenever I got this plant about a year ago, it was probably only the size of this little shoot right here. So it definitely has, or sorry, right here. So it's definitely gotten much, much larger over a period of time. And my Philodendron Birkin is also doing pretty well. I don't really know if I like this plant very much. It's kind of just a strange shape. It kind of looks a little leggy and like straggly, and I don't believe that's because it's being improperly cared for. I think that is just kind of the growth pattern of those types of philodendrons. I also have some lilies here that broke off from outside, so I just brought them in, put them in a vase. And then this is a Dorano Dracaena. This guy was actually really struggling in his pot, so I am attempting to propagate it. We can see I just have it cut off from very far down, and then I'm going to try to water propagate it. I can imagine that this is going to root in water relatively well. It's just going to take some time. And then my Starfish Sansevieria, sorry, Dracaena. I mean, you know what's up. This guy's done very well also. These are like crazy. Such like a strange plant, like very alien looking. Moving right along here, this Peace Lily is doing okay. I think it's time for a repotting. This is just like a cash pot that it's in. It's probably very root bound in there, and I think that might be part of the reason that I'm getting these yellowing leaves. I don't think it has enough room. It's probably losing some nutrients. Little Miss Thing is curious about it. You know not to bite that. That's not okay. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we don't chew plants, do we? We just sniff them. Over here, we have a limelight Dracaena. This guy has kind of always struggled with browning tips and this kind of strange spotting on the foliage. Ever since I've gotten it, it's grown quite substantially, actually. So I'm not really sure what the problem is with this plant. But if you have any ideas, please let me know. I think I may have over-fertilized it and it caused some burning on the tips. I have no idea. This Pothos is doing really well. I really love this kind of vibe that we're creating on the staircase here. And I have another Pothos just right around the corner here. Little decoration that has been doing well. And I actually have some Marble Queen Pothos in the same pot, which is interesting. And then I have this Samurai Dwarf snake plant, and that's doing very well. Also, starting to push out a little new, I don't know, leaf. We'll call it a leaf. ZZ Plant's doing pretty cool. Also, moving right along here, we have some rubber trees. The ruby rubber tree is doing okay. I think it would really benefit from being out on the porch. We can see this small foliage kind of indicates to me, the small new foliage kind of indicates to me that it's not getting as much light as it probably should through the growing season, but these plants that have a lot of foliage and are very prone to like catching the wind always fall over on the porch. So I've kind of just given up on putting them outside because I don't want to have to go outside every 5 minutes and pick them up. And this rubber tree is doing pretty well also. You know, I'm fine if these don't push out a whole lot of growth because they are like rather substantial already. And then we'll get back to this over here, but over here we have another rubber tree. This is the Taniki variety. And this one's doing a little bit better over here. Also, this is one of my favorites, just beautiful, beautiful foliage. And this is the kind of last area that I'm going to show you probably. Beside this rubber tree here, we have a regular string of hearts and also some peperomia thrown in there too. Not really sure why. I guess we just like polyculture around these parts. This guy's doing okay, pushing out some new growth towards the top of the plant. And then this is a variegated Hindu rope, also doing pretty okay also, definitely growing a little bit now through the growing season. And if we move on over here, we can see the non-variegated variety of that Hoya carnosa compacta, or the Hindu rope. A very, very beautiful plant, really love it. And then here we have a silver dollar vine. We can see that it kind of like pushes out these shoots where I always thought like flowers would come out of there, but flowers have never shot out of that. They've always just like dried up and gone a little crazy. Kind of underwhelmed with that plant. I mean, it's interesting. It adds some really cool texture, but that's about it. And then here we have a Scindaptus pictus exotica. And this plant has done very well ever since I've moved it down here to the light as well. Also one of those plants that required quite a bit more of light. Quite a bit more light than I could give them in the studio. If we move on over here, we have a black cardinal philodendron. One of my favorites, definitely. It looks like I might have to do some detective work as to why this leaf is looking a little strange. Maybe it just needs some more time to unfurl. Maybe there's some pest damage. Not entirely sure. I have to do some Nancy Drewing on that. We go around front here. We have a string of turtles. This guy got pretty leggy. I do believe I need to repot this. If you go back to my string of turtles care guide, I actually had 3 or 4 little 1-inch propagation jars that I put into that 4-inch pot, and it has since gone crazy. This is a watermelon peperomia, doing pretty well. It's getting a little bit of weird kind of brown spotting on some of the foliage. I believe I need to maybe fertilize it or repot it as well. This guy actually started as just 1 leaf, a propagation that I got, and it didn't have any of like the node on it. It was actually just a leaf, and somehow it still managed to root, which is interesting. And then here we have a Crimson Queen Hoya carnosa, and wow, look at that. Just now noticed this. I got some blooms earlier this year, this growing season, but I guess we're getting more. I will keep you updated on that. Down here, I don't want to talk about it. I really am not a fan of these peperomoides. We're just going to get rid of that. And this was a little experiment, just several different kinds of snake plant propagations that I threw in here. And this is actually regular potting soil. It's not like succulent mix. And I believe that is maybe why we're having some dieback, or it could just be because we're getting all these new foliage bits. And as such, the older pieces are dying back to make more room for the new. And then a little Hoya carry-eye sweetheart, which is just, you know, just gonna sit there and look like that. So that is pretty much what I have going on. Nothing too substantial. I have a few other plants out on the porch. Excuse my dog. But nothing really crazy. Some things are doing really well, like that Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that we looked at, and the one variegated Spaethiphyllum and things like that. Other things aren't doing so hot, but hey, it's part of the learning process. And like I said, let me know what is doing well for you in the comments, what is not doing well for you, and happy growing. I hope you all are staying well through this summertime, and I will talk to you later. Bye.